Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a fascinating and bold idea, rewilding snow leopards in Europe. We'll explore where exactly these elusive predators could roam once again, the potential interactions they may have with other wildlife, and most importantly, why we need Pleistocene rewilding in Europe. Imagine a Europe where snow leopards silently stalk the rugged mountain cliffs, where ecosystems are restored to their former glory, and where we embrace the full potential of rewilding to heal our landscapes. Stick with us as we uncover the importance of this incredible project and its potential impact on both biodiversity and the environment. So, grab a seat, and let's explore the future of Europe's wild spaces and the incredible role snow leopards could play in this vision. The snow leopard is a large cat native to the mountainous regions of Central and South Asia. It is known for its beautiful, thick fur, which helps it survive in cold, rugged environments. The European snow leopard specifically would have been a subspecies or population of the snow leopard that inhabited parts of Europe during the Pleistocene era, when the climate was colder and the landscape more diverse. Snow leopards are solitary animals that prefer rocky, mountainous terrain, which provides cover and prey such as mountain goats, sheep, and small mammals. They are skilled hunters and are known for their ability to leap great distances, even across deep ravines or snow-covered terrain. The European snow leopard was believed to have once inhabited various parts of Europe, particularly the mountain ranges like the Alps, Pyrenees, and even parts of the Carpathians. During the Pleistocene epoch, about 2.5 million to 10,000 years ago, the climate was much colder than it is today, creating a more favorable environment for cold-adapted species like the snow leopard. As glaciers advanced and retreated during the ice ages, the range of the snow leopard likely expanded and contracted along with these environmental changes. Fossil evidence, such as skeletal remains, suggests that snow leopards were present in Europe alongside other megafauna like mammoths, woolly rhinoceroses, and cave lions. However, the snow leopard's range in Europe was likely limited to more remote, high-altitude regions, which would have provided the necessary terrain for hunting and shelter. The extinction of the European snow leopard is generally attributed to a combination of climate change and human impact. During the late Pleistocene and early Holocene, around 10,000 years ago, the climate began to warm up significantly, leading to the retreat of glaciers and the loss of the cold, mountainous habitats that snow leopards depended on. Additionally, the arrival of early humans, who engaged in hunting, habitat destruction, and competition for resources, would have contributed to the decline of snow leopard populations. As human populations grew, these animals were likely pushed out of their habitats and faced challenges finding food and safe spaces to live. By the end of the last ice age, it is believed that the European snow leopard had become extinct, leaving only populations in Asia to survive. Today, snow leopards are found in mountain ranges across Central Asia, but they no longer inhabit Europe. The European snow leopard is a fascinating example of the many unique species that once roamed the continent during the ice ages. Its extinction is a result of a changing climate, human activities, and competition with other species. Today, the snow leopard remains an iconic symbol of the wild mountains of Asia, but its historical presence in Europe remains a reminder of a time when Europe was home to a much broader array of wildlife. Why Europe needs snow leopards? Rewilding snow leopards in Europe is an idea that has been discussed by conservationists, ecologists, and wildlife enthusiasts in recent years. While the concept of reintroducing species to their historical habitats is becoming more popular, especially for species that once thrived in Europe, it is a complex and controversial undertaking. Snow leopards, like other apex predators, play a crucial role in maintaining the health and balance of ecosystems. By preying on herbivores like wild goats, sheep, and other smaller mammals, snow leopards help regulate their populations. This prevents overgrazing, which can lead to habitat destruction and the depletion of plant species. The presence of snow leopards would restore a natural predator-prey dynamic in mountain ecosystems, where herbivores could otherwise multiply uncontrollably, leading to the degradation of biodiversity. Reintroducing apex predators like snow leopards could have a cascading positive effect on the biodiversity of the region. By regulating prey populations, snow leopards would also help preserve plant diversity, which in turn supports a wide range of other species. The idea is that snow leopards could act as a keystone species, promoting a healthier, more balanced environment. High-altitude regions, like those where snow leopards once roamed, are increasingly under pressure from climate change. Many species that thrive in these cold, mountainous regions are threatened by warming temperatures, and some are even being driven to higher altitudes. Snow leopards, which are well adapted to cold climates, could help bring attention to the preservation of these ecosystems, highlighting the need for better conservation efforts to protect the entire ecosystem from climate change. The reintroduction of snow leopards could also have economic and educational benefits. Rewilding projects have been known to attract ecotourism, and the presence of such a rare and majestic animal would draw attention to the importance of preserving natural environments. People could be educated about the role snow leopards play in ecosystems, while also generating revenue for local communities through responsible tourism. The challenges of rewilding. Snow leopards in Europe. The current habitats in Europe may not be suitable for snow leopards. These animals are adapted to the rugged, cold mountains of Asia, which offer a specific set of conditions, including ample prey species and remote areas for the cats to roam. While some mountain ranges in Europe, like the Alps or the Pyrenees, might seem similar in terrain, they may not provide the same kind of environment that snow leopards require, particularly in terms of prey density and shelter. Snow leopards are apex predators, and their return to Europe would likely bring them into conflict with human activities. Farmers and shepherds, especially those in mountainous regions, may view the snow leopards as a threat to livestock. Historically, human-wildlife conflicts have been a major factor in the decline of snow leopards in Asia, and the same challenges would likely arise in Europe. Reintroducing snow leopards to Europe would require careful consideration of their genetic diversity. A small, isolated population of reintroduced animals could suffer from inbreeding, which could result in a loss of genetic health and resilience. To avoid this, a large, genetically diverse population would need to be established, which could require cooperation between conservation organizations and multiple countries to ensure the long-term survival of the species. The rewilding of large predators like snow leopards can be controversial. Some communities may resist the idea due to concerns about safety, economic losses, particularly in agriculture and livestock, and the potential ecological disruption caused by reintroducing an apex predator. Conservationists would need to carefully manage the process, engage with local communities, and create strategies to mitigate human-wildlife conflicts. Why it's worth considering. Despite these challenges, there are several reasons why rewilding snow leopards in Europe might be worth pursuing. Bringing back snow leopards could restore natural predator-prey relationships and help maintain healthy, balanced ecosystems. This would benefit not only the snow leopards themselves, but a wide variety of other species that depend on the same mountain habitats. As top predators, snow leopards would help maintain the delicate balance of biodiversity in European mountain ecosystems, ensuring that plant and animal species are preserved for future generations. Rewilding projects can foster a greater public understanding of the importance of biodiversity and conservation. By reintroducing a charismatic and rare species like the snow leopard, people would become more aware of the environmental threats faced by not just the snow leopards, but also the other species in their habitat. Rewilding projects for other species, like wolves, lynx, and brown bears, have been successful in parts of Europe, demonstrating that large carnivores can be reintegrated into ecosystems when managed properly. Snow leopards, though, would require careful planning and monitoring to ensure their success in Europe. My conclusion is, rewilding snow leopards in Europe is a bold idea that could offer many ecological and societal benefits. While it is not without its challenges, the restoration of this apex predator could play a vital role in preserving Europe's mountain ecosystems and promoting biodiversity. Careful planning, community involvement, and ongoing research will be essential to ensure that snow leopards can thrive in a new, rewilded European landscape. Rewilding snow leopards in Europe has the potential to be a bold and visionary success, but it would require thoughtful planning, ecological research, and strong public engagement. Snow leopards are elusive, solitary, and typically avoid human settlements, making them more suitable than some other large predators for coexistence with humans. Their preferred habitats, remote, high-altitude mountains and rugged terrain, are naturally less populated by people. This reduces the chance of direct conflict, especially if reintroduction zones are carefully selected in areas with minimal agricultural activity and strong legal protection. Successful coexistence depends heavily on local community support. In regions where wolves and lynx have been reintroduced, success has come when local people are included in decision-making, compensated for livestock losses, and given economic benefits such as ecotourism. With snow leopards, education and awareness campaigns would be essential to address fears and misinformation. Rewilding projects should include investments in non-lethal livestock protection methods like guardian dogs, fencing, and early warning systems to further reduce the risk of conflict. In this way, coexistence becomes not only possible, but a source of pride and opportunity for nearby communities. Ecologically, snow leopards would help restore balance to Europe's mountain ecosystems. Prey species like deer, chamois, and wild goats are often overabundant due to the absence of large natural predators, leading to overgrazing and habitat degradation. By keeping prey populations in check, snow leopards can help regenerate alpine meadows, support greater biodiversity, and even improve water regulation and soil stability. Their return would contribute to a self-sustaining ecosystem that requires less human intervention and is more resilient in the face of climate change. In the long term, rewilding snow leopards could inspire a new model of conservation in Europe. It would represent a shift from simply protecting nature in isolated parks to actively restoring functioning wild systems across larger landscapes. This model, grounded in ecological science and respect for human livelihoods, offers hope not just for snow leopards, but for many other species, both present and future rewilding candidates. Coexistence is not just a possibility, it's a necessity for a future where humans and wild nature thrive together on a shared continent. Rewilding snow leopards in Europe would need to focus on specific regions where the natural environment could support them, both in terms of habitat and prey. The key is to find areas that resemble the snow leopard's natural habitats in Central Asia, which include rugged mountain ranges, cold climates, and ecosystems with sufficient prey species such as wild goats, sheep, and smaller mammals. The Alps are one of the most prominent mountain ranges in Europe and offer a landscape similar to the snow leopard's native habitat. The high-altitude regions provide cold temperatures and rugged terrain, with rocky outcrops and valleys that are ideal for snow leopards. The Alps are home to a variety of prey species, including wild goats, chamois, deer, and marmots, which would provide food for the snow leopards. The Alps contain national parks and nature reserves, such as the Vanoise National Park in France and the Swiss National Park, that could serve as safe zones for snow leopards, minimizing human-wildlife conflict. The Alps are a historical home to large predators like wolves and lynx, which have successfully been reintroduced to the region. This shows that large carnivores can adapt to and thrive in these mountainous habitats. The Pyrenees, stretching across the border between France and Spain, are another ideal location for reintroducing snow leopards. The range is characterized by high peaks, deep valleys, and isolated areas that provide the perfect habitat for solitary big cats. Wild goats, deer, and boar are found in the Pyrenees, which could sustain a population of snow leopards. In many parts of the Pyrenees, human populations are sparse, especially in the higher altitudes. This would reduce the likelihood of conflicts between snow leopards and humans. The reintroduction of the Pyrenean ibex, a species of wild goat, and the return of the bearded vulture demonstrate that the region has the potential for successful rewilding programs. The Carpathians are a large mountain range in Eastern Europe that is already home to a variety of large carnivores, including brown bears, wolves, and lynx. These mountains have the characteristics that make them suitable for snow leopards. The Carpathians experience cold winters with heavy snow, making it a suitable environment for snow leopards, which are adapted to cold, high-altitude regions. The Carpathians have a healthy population of wild ungulates, deer, wild boar, and smaller mammals, which could support a predator like the snow leopard. The Carpathians contain large swaths of protected forests and national parks, such as the Carpathian Mountains National Park, where rewilding efforts could be focused. The region has already demonstrated the success of reintroducing large carnivores like lynx and wolves, making it a promising site for the snow leopard. The Balkan mountain range offers a suitable environment for snow leopards, with a mixture of remote, rugged terrains and high-altitude areas. This region could provide the space needed for snow leopards to establish territories. Similar to other mountainous areas in Europe, the Balkans are home to wild goats, deer, and smaller mammals that could sustain a population of snow leopards. The Balkans have been home to a variety of large carnivores, such as wolves, brown bears, and lynx, and the return of these species to the region has been largely successful. Snow leopards could similarly benefit from the rewilding efforts in this area. The Balkans are an ecologically rich area with numerous wildlife corridors that could facilitate the rewilding of snow leopards, helping to create a connected landscape for conservation. The Apennine mountain range, which runs down the length of Italy, could also be an appropriate area for reintroducing snow leopards. This range includes both high-altitude areas, as well as isolated valleys and plateaus that could offer a suitable environment for these elusive cats. The Apennines host a variety of prey species, including wild boar, roe deer, and red deer, which could provide ample food for snow leopards. Italy has been involved in several successful wildlife conservation programs, including the reintroduction of the Marsican brown bear and the return of the wolf. With careful planning, the Apennines could be an ideal place for rewilding efforts focused on snow leopards. Why these regions are suitable for rewilding snow leopards. All of the above-mentioned regions share characteristics with the snow leopard's natural habitat in Central Asia. These include cold climates, high-altitude rocky terrains, and diverse ecosystems capable of supporting prey species suitable for a carnivore of the snow leopard's size. Many of the mountain ranges in Europe already have established national parks or nature reserves, which are crucial for successful rewilding efforts. These protected areas offer the space and security needed for snow leopards to establish themselves without significant human interference. The successful reintroduction of species like wolves, lynx, and brown bears to various parts of Europe provides a blueprint for reintroducing snow leopards. These species faced similar challenges in terms of human conflict, prey availability, and habitat suitability, yet they have found ways to thrive in parts of Europe. Snow leopards could follow a similar path if given the proper management and conservation efforts. By reintroducing snow leopards to Europe, these areas could benefit from improved ecosystem health, with snow leopards helping to maintain balanced prey populations and promote biodiversity. Their presence would also draw attention to the importance of conserving mountain ecosystems in the face of climate change. Rewilding snow leopards in Europe is an ambitious but potentially highly beneficial initiative. The Alps, Pyrenees, Carpathian Mountains, Balkans, and Apennines all offer suitable habitats with the necessary characteristics for supporting snow leopards. By focusing on these areas, conservationists could help restore important ecological functions, promote biodiversity, and contribute to the long-term preservation of European mountain ecosystems. However, careful planning, monitoring, and community involvement will be essential to ensure the success of such a project. Rewilding snow leopards in Europe is a complex and multifaceted process, especially considering the various interactions that could occur between snow leopards and other species, both native and reintroduced. Snow leopards are skilled hunters and would prey on deer species, particularly the young, old, or weak individuals. Deer are one of the primary prey species for snow leopards in their native habitats, so their presence in Europe would be beneficial for the snow leopard population. Snow leopards would regulate deer populations, preventing overgrazing and promoting a healthier, more sustainable balance between vegetation and herbivore populations. This could help prevent deer overpopulation, which might otherwise lead to habitat degradation. Wild boar are another potential prey species for snow leopards. Wild boar are opportunistic feeders and may be more challenging prey due to their size and strength. But young or sick individuals would be vulnerable to snow leopard predation. Snow leopards could help control wild boar populations, especially in areas where wild boars are overpopulated, causing damage to crops and ecosystems. This could also reduce competition for vegetation between wild boars and other herbivores. The ibex is one of the primary prey species for snow leopards in their native habitat in Asia. In Europe, ibexes are found in mountainous areas such as the Alps, making them an ideal prey species for snow leopards. Snow leopards would exert predation pressure on ibex populations, which would help maintain their health by removing weaker individuals. This would also prevent overgrazing and ensure the balance of mountain ecosystems. Mouflons are wild sheep native to parts of Europe. Snow leopards could hunt mouflons, as they are similar in size and behavior to other mountain ungulates that snow leopards typically prey upon. Snow leopards would help regulate the mouflon population, ensuring a balance between plant and animal life in their mountain habitats. Overgrazing by mouflon could lead to habitat degradation, and snow leopards would play an important role in controlling these populations. Chamois are agile and fast ungulates that live in mountainous terrain similar to ibex. They would be a likely prey species for snow leopards, especially in areas where they share overlapping ranges. By preying on weaker individuals, snow leopards would help maintain a healthy chamois population. This would reduce the risk of overgrazing, particularly in sensitive alpine ecosystems where chamois are abundant. The saiga antelope, known for its distinctive bulbous nose, is an endangered species native to the Eurasian steppe. If reintroduced in Europe, saigas could become prey for snow leopards, especially in the steppes and grasslands of Eastern and Central Europe. Snow leopards are well adapted to hunting medium-sized prey and could take advantage of saiga herds. Snow leopards would help regulate saiga populations, ensuring they don't overgraze the grasses and other vegetation they rely on. This would help maintain a balanced ecosystem where plants and other herbivores can thrive. Wild horses, such as the Przewalski's horse, native to parts of Europe and Asia, are herbivores that could be present in some rewilding programs. Snow leopards would generally avoid healthy, adult wild horses, but could prey on young foals or sick individuals. While not a primary prey species for snow leopards, interactions with wild horses could occur, particularly if populations of other prey are low. Snow leopards would contribute to maintaining the balance by preventing overpopulation in the ecosystem. Wild ass species, such as the onager, could be part of future rewilding projects in Europe. Snow leopards may not typically prey on adult wild asses due to their size and speed, but they could hunt young, sick, or injured individuals. Wild ass populations would benefit from snow leopard predation, preventing overgrazing in areas where they compete with other herbivores for food resources. Feral cattle could also be present in rewilding efforts, particularly in rugged, less developed areas. While snow leopards might not regularly target adult cattle, they could potentially prey on calves or weaker individuals. Snow leopards could help manage feral cattle populations, ensuring that they do not outcompete other herbivores and damage the environment through overgrazing. The European bison is a large herbivore that has been successfully reintroduced to several areas in Europe. While snow leopards typically prey on smaller mammals, they might still interact with European bison, particularly when young calves are vulnerable. Snow leopards would help regulate bison numbers, ensuring the health of the ecosystem. However, given the bison's size and strength, these interactions would likely be rare and would depend on the age or condition of the individual bison. Water buffaloes reintroduced in Europe as part of a larger rewilding effort. Snow leopards would likely avoid adult water buffaloes due to their size, but might target vulnerable calves or weaker individuals. Like other large herbivores, water buffaloes could impact plant life through grazing And snow leopards could help prevent overpopulation of these species by keeping their numbers in check. Asian elephants could be part of a future rewilding effort in Europe, though their presence would likely be more focused on forest and wetland ecosystems. Snow leopards would not typically prey on elephants due to their size and strength, but interactions could occur when snow leopards are opportunistically feeding on smaller prey near elephant herds. The reintroduction of elephants would have a significant impact on ecosystems, with elephants helping to maintain forest and grassland habitats. While snow leopards might not interact directly with them often, their presence would support the diversity and resilience of the landscape. The Indian rhinoceros, if reintroduced in the future, would be a massive herbivore that would not be a direct prey species for snow leopards due to its size. However, snow leopards may interact with the rhinoceros indirectly by sharing territory and utilizing the same resources in the ecosystem. Rhinoceroses help maintain grassland ecosystems, and snow leopards could help balance herbivore populations in the region, preventing overgrazing and maintaining vegetation cover. Hippos, if reintroduced in Europe's waterways, would have minimal direct interaction with snow leopards. However, their presence would influence the aquatic ecosystems and could indirectly affect the prey species snow leopards hunt. Hippos are important for the ecological balance of freshwater ecosystems, and their role would likely not overlap directly with snow leopards. However, in areas where both species are present, their coexistence would contribute to a more complex dynamic ecosystem. Beavers are known for their ability to reshape landscapes by building dams and lodges in freshwater ecosystems. Snow leopards, while primarily carnivores, might indirectly interact with beavers by influencing the overall ecosystem dynamics. The presence of beavers can attract other predators, such as wolves or lynx, and snow leopards may occasionally compete for prey in these areas. Beavers play a crucial role in wetland and forest ecosystems by creating habitats for various species. Snow leopards' presence would not directly affect the beavers themselves, but the broader ecosystem balance could be influenced, particularly with regard to available prey species. Otters are semi-aquatic mammals that live near rivers, lakes, and wetlands. Snow leopards, while mainly associated with mountainous terrain, could interact with otters in riparian zones. Snow leopards would likely not directly hunt otters, as otters are agile and well adapted to aquatic environments, but there might be some indirect competition for resources in overlapping habitats. Otters help control fish populations and maintain healthy aquatic ecosystems. The presence of snow leopards would not directly threaten otters, but competition for small mammals and aquatic prey could create some indirect interactions. Marmots are large ground squirrels that live in alpine or mountainous regions. They are a common prey species for snow leopards in their native habitat. In Europe, marmots would likely be an important food source for snow leopards in the mountains, especially in areas like the Alps or the Pyrenees. By preying on marmots, snow leopards would help keep the marmot population in check, preventing overpopulation. Marmots are burrowing animals, and their overabundance can lead to damage to vegetation and soil. Snow leopards hunting helps prevent this. Badgers are nocturnal omnivores that dig burrows and live in forested and rural areas across Europe. Snow leopards might not directly hunt badgers due to their nocturnal habits, but badgers could occasionally be preyed upon if they venture into areas frequented by snow leopards. Snow leopards are opportunistic hunters and might target badgers when food is scarce or if the badger is weak or injured. Badgers are important for controlling insect populations and aerating the soil. They also play a role in maintaining forest health by digging and foraging for roots and small animals. Snow leopards would likely have minimal impact on badger populations unless food sources were limited. Snow leopards are known to hunt a variety of small mammals, including rodents, hares, and other small prey species. In European ecosystems, snow leopards would likely target small mammals such as voles, squirrels, rabbits, and lemmings. These small mammals are abundant in the areas that snow leopards might inhabit, particularly in the mountains and steppe regions. By preying on small mammals, snow leopards would regulate these populations, preventing them from becoming too numerous and damaging vegetation or crops. Small mammals are also important for dispersing seeds and maintaining plant diversity, so controlling their populations would help balance the ecosystem. Snow leopards might hunt ground-nesting birds, particularly in mountainous and forested habitats. Birds like grouse, pheasants, and partridges could be prey for snow leopards, especially in winter when other prey species might be less abundant. Snow leopards are stealthy hunters and could ambush birds if they are foraging on the ground. Birds play important roles in controlling insect populations, dispersing seeds, and maintaining healthy vegetation. While snow leopards could help control bird populations by hunting some species, they would likely not have a large-scale impact on bird diversity unless prey species were severely depleted. Snow leopards might interact with reptiles, though reptiles would likely be a small part of their diet. In regions with reptiles such as lizards, snakes, or tortoises, snow leopards might occasionally prey on them, particularly if other food sources are scarce. However, reptiles would not be a significant part of a snow leopard's regular diet due to their size and behavior. Reptiles play an important role in controlling insect and rodent populations, as well as maintaining the balance of their respective ecosystems. While snow leopards might occasionally prey on reptiles, their primary focus would remain on larger mammals. Wolves are apex predators and could compete with snow leopards for similar prey, including deer, wild boar, and smaller mammals. However, wolves often hunt in packs, which could give them an advantage in capturing larger prey. Snow leopards, on the other hand, are solitary hunters, which might help them avoid direct competition by specializing in different hunting methods, ambush predation versus pack hunting. Wolves help control herbivore populations, and their presence in the same ecosystems could complement snow leopards' role by focusing on larger, more mobile prey, while snow leopards target smaller, more elusive mammals. These predators could coexist in a balanced way, each playing an important role in regulating prey populations. Feral dogs are opportunistic predators and scavengers that could compete with snow leopards for food, especially in areas where human settlements are nearby. They may also pose a threat to the snow leopards by disturbing their territories or attacking their young. Feral dogs tend to be more aggressive in packs, which could lead to conflicts with snow leopards, who are solitary animals. While feral dogs are less efficient at hunting than wolves, their presence could disrupt the balance by scavenging prey and competing for food. Snow leopards would likely avoid direct confrontation, but might face challenges in areas where feral dog populations are large. Golden jackals are smaller canids and opportunistic predators that could compete with snow leopards for smaller prey, such as roe deer, rabbits, birds, and rodents. They typically hunt in pairs or small groups, which could make them a more significant competitor to snow leopards in terms of hunting efficiency. Jackals play a key role in controlling small mammal and bird populations. If snow leopards and jackals share habitats, they might have some indirect competition for food. But given that snow leopards primarily hunt larger prey, their ecological roles may not overlap significantly. Jackals could also scavenge on carcasses left by other predators, providing a different niche in the food web. The red fox is a smaller predator that hunts small mammals, birds, and insects. While they may not directly compete with snow leopards for larger prey, there could be some overlap in hunting smaller mammals like rodents and hares. Foxes might also scavenge from snow leopard kills if they are available. Red foxes help regulate populations of small mammals and birds. They are highly adaptable and may be found in a variety of habitats, including those inhabited by snow leopards. Their interactions would likely be minimal, with foxes hunting in different niches and avoiding direct competition for larger prey species. Brown bears are much larger than snow leopards and can dominate the same territories. They are omnivorous, but also opportunistic carnivores, often preying on smaller mammals and scavenging carcasses left by other predators. Bears could pose a direct threat to snow leopards, particularly if food is scarce or if there is competition for territory. Brown bears play a critical role in the ecosystem by controlling herbivore populations, scavenging carcasses, and maintaining balance in forest and mountain ecosystems. Snow leopards and brown bears might have some overlapping food resources, but snow leopards are more likely to avoid direct confrontation staying out of the bear's way to avoid territorial disputes. Wildcats, such as the European wildcat, could share some ecological overlap with snow leopards, especially when it comes to hunting smaller prey. However, wildcats are generally much smaller and would avoid competing with snow leopards directly, since snow leopards are significantly larger and more powerful. Snow leopards could, however, be a threat to wildcat populations if food resources are limited or if territories overlap. Wildcats help control small mammal populations and serve as important predators in the forest and steppe ecosystems. Snow leopards may not directly interact with wildcats unless prey is scarce, but wildcats could indirectly benefit from the snow leopard's role in regulating larger prey populations. The Eurasian lynx is another large predator in Europe and could compete with snow leopards for similar prey, such as roe deer, wild boar, and hares. Both are solitary hunters, but lynx are typically found in forested habitats, while snow leopards prefer more rugged mountainous terrain. Their ecological niches may thus overlap slightly, with some competition for medium-sized herbivores. The lynx is an apex predator in its own right, helping regulate prey populations and maintain ecological balance. Snow leopards and lynx could potentially coexist if their territories do not overlap significantly, with each species hunting in slightly different habitats or focusing on different prey sizes. If Persian leopards are reintroduced to Europe, they could compete directly with snow leopards, as both are large carnivores capable of taking down similar prey. However, Persian leopards tend to prefer forested habitats, while snow leopards are more adapted to rugged, mountainous terrain. Some degree of competition for territory and prey could occur, but their ecological roles might complement each other in different habitat zones. Persian leopards are top predators in their native habitats and play a role in regulating herbivore populations. Snow leopards and Persian leopards could potentially coexist if their ranges are carefully managed to reduce overlap and competition. Asiatic lions are large predators that could potentially share similar prey with snow leopards, such as deer and wild boar. However, Asiatic lions are social animals and hunt in groups, while snow leopards are solitary hunters. The presence of Asiatic lions could reduce the number of available prey for snow leopards in overlapping areas, leading to potential competition for resources. Asiatic lions help regulate herbivore populations and maintain balance in their ecosystems. If reintroduced, their interaction with snow leopards would require careful management to avoid conflicts, particularly in shared habitats. Spotted hyenas are powerful predators and scavengers that could pose a threat to snow leopards, especially in areas where prey is scarce. Hyenas are social animals that hunt in groups, unlike snow leopards, which are solitary hunters. If spotted hyenas were reintroduced to Europe, they could potentially outcompete snow leopards for scavenging opportunities and even challenge them for kills. Spotted hyenas play an important role in scavenging and cleaning up carcasses left by other predators. They could help regulate populations of herbivores and smaller carnivores by scavenging carcasses and preventing overgrazing. However, their presence would require careful monitoring to prevent conflicts with snow leopards. And now I want to talk to you about why we need Pleistocene rewilding in Europe. Pleistocene rewilding in Europe, which aims to restore ecosystems to a state resembling their prehistoric condition before the extinction of many large mammals, offers a powerful solution to reverse biodiversity loss and ecological imbalance. During the Pleistocene epoch, Europe was home to a vast array of megafauna, including mammoths, wild horses, rhinoceroses, lions, hyenas, and even species like the saiga antelope and snow leopards in more mountainous regions. Today, Europe's ecosystems suffer from trophic downgrading, when apex predators and large herbivores are missing, leading to overgrazing, forest overgrowth, and ecosystem collapse. Reintroducing lost or functionally similar species, like wild cattle, bison, rhinos, and future rewilded predators like snow leopards, could help revive these lost dynamics and restore ecological balance. Snow leopards, while often associated with Central Asia, once had a broader range that likely included parts of Europe during glacial periods. Rewilding them into Europe's mountainous zones, such as the Alps, Carpathians, and Balkans, could re-establish a keystone predator role in ecosystems where prey populations like deer, ibex, and wild boar are unchecked by natural predators. Snow leopards are stealthy, solitary hunters that could function without heavily disrupting existing predator populations like wolves and lynx. Their reintroduction would add complexity to the food web, reduce overgrazing, and indirectly benefit plant diversity, soil health, and carbon storage, strengthening climate resilience. The future of European rewilding could see the return not only of snow leopards, but also of Indian rhinos, Asiatic lions, Persian leopards, hippos, and even elephants, species that existed in Europe or their equivalents during the Pleistocene. This vision isn't merely nostalgic. It's a forward-looking strategy to combat the sixth mass extinction, restore degraded landscapes, and rewild our relationship with nature. It also presents educational, economic, and cultural benefits, turning rewilded zones into hubs for ecotourism, conservation science, and renewed human-wildlife coexistence. Future ecosystems may resemble not the fragmented remnants of today, but a rich mosaic of dynamic, self-regulating wilderness. In essence, Pleistocene rewilding is a call to reimagine Europe's natural future by honoring its deep past. It's not just about bringing back majestic species, it's about healing the land, mending the climate, and redefining humanity's role as stewards of a living, breathing planet. With thoughtful planning, ecological foresight, and public engagement, Europe can become a beacon of ecological restoration for the 21st century, where snow leopards silently stalk the cliffs once more, and ancient landscapes come alive with the rhythms of wildness. As we've seen, bringing snow leopards back to Europe isn't just about reviving a majestic big cat. It's about restoring lost ecological balance, rebuilding resilient mountain ecosystems, and reconnecting all of us with the wild heritage of this continent. From the windswept crags of the Alps to the ancient forests of the Carpathians, these stealthy predators could help regulate prey populations, boost biodiversity, and even mitigate the impacts of climate change. Rewilding is more than a conservation strategy. It's a vision for our shared future. By embracing Pleistocene rewilding and reintroducing species like the snow leopard, we can create healthier landscapes, spark ecotourism, and inspire a new generation to champion Europe's wild places. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you believe in a wilder Europe, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss our next deep dive into the world's most ambitious conservation projects. Together, we can make the wild a part of our future, here in Europe and beyond.